Okay. It's like 9:30 at night. I gotta do these in the middle of the day. I really do, because it's gonna be like 1 a.m. before this one loads. I have a bra strap. So how many people there are old enough to remember when having a bra strap visible would cause old ladies to gasp and point? And you'd get in trouble at school, and it was a huge issue. How having your shirt pop up and your belly exposed, wow, that was a bad thing back in the day. Yeah, things have improved. Things have improved. If that's improvement, I think it's improvement. Yeah, probably. Anyway, going back, I remember when there was a style for the season, and you'd better have the clothes that matched that style, or you'd be called poor and hand-me-downs and all kinds of rude comments. And people would sniff as you walked by as if you didn't smell good because your clothes were not fashionable enough, and this was in a poor town. Yeah, we decoupled the fashion industry. That's a good thing. Decoupling is a financial term for breaking the monopoly, breaking the stranglehold, for changing the expectations. There was a paradigm shift back in the up until the mid 80s into the 90s. Everybody dressed the same. Punk rockers say, no, I was a punk rocker. Yeah, and I could spot you in a crowd because I was a punk rocker and a proto-goth, I guess you'd call us back then. Everybody looked the same regardless of what their particular rebellion was. These days, I can spot a fandom person in a crowd. I can spot a gamer in a crowd. I can spot a football fan in a crowd. I can still spot y'all. It's just different style requirements, and there's more acceptance of people who want to dress differently. I can remember one time, I had to have been about 9, 10, wearing a pair of slacks and a sweater and really liking the outfit, and having some guy at my grandparents' church walk up and say, "Are you a little suffragette? I can't say the stupid word. Feminist, cross-dresser." Because I was wearing slacks at church. Because I was 9 or 10 years old and I should have been wearing a dress. Things are better. Things really are. There are people in politics who want to make things bad again. The natural state of humanity. If you take all of human history, the natural state of humanity is for women to wear a skirt so that somebody can rape her easier. Y'all didn't think skirts served any other purpose, did you? Skirts were because women had to squat down to pee, so hiking up a skirt is a hell of a lot easier than trying to take pants off. And skirts were so that rape was easier, because women were chattel. And it's only been in the last 50 years that hasn't been the truth in the Western world. It's still the truth in half of the Asias. We think we've come so far, and all it'll take is one political sneeze, and women are back to being chattel. So other things that I had on my list to talk about, after that happy note. Movies that I absolutely hate. Why not? I don't like comedy. There is a known effect thing in psychiatric psychology that certain types of child abuse result in an adult who has an aversion to the comedy that requires a person to be a fish out of water, requires the person to walk in on a situation where everybody's laughing at them, to not know what's going on. That kind of shit's physically painful for me. I get up, I leave the room. If I can't leave the room, I lash out and I hit somebody. Not physically, but I make rude comments. I get very, very PTSD. I don't like comedy. There are some comedies I have liked. Can't remember any off the top of my head. I don't like Woody Allen. I didn't like Woody Allen 20 years ago. He's always given me a really creepy vibe. Always. I got really pissed off at some acquaintances of ours. I guess it's been almost 25 years. Wow. 25 years ago, who said, hey, let's go see this movie. And when we got to the theater, they're like, we changed our mind. We're going to go see this other movie. And I'm like, I don't want to see that movie. I don't want to see that movie. I only see one movie every 3 months. Why would I want to spend my money on a movie? Oh, come on, we're having a group event, blah, blah, blah. And I got bullied by the whole group. And we walked in, and the third name on the screen was Woody Allen. And I just turned to the husband and said, I'll meet you outside. Sat out there and ate popcorn. I don't like Woody Allen. My husband used to like Woody Allen movies. We have a totally different sense of humor and totally different. He likes chick flicks. Okay, the man will watch Titanic over and over and over again. I had a problem the first time through. I don't like chick flicks. I'm not your target market. I like Tommy Lee Jones and Volcano. That was a good movie. Okay? I like action adventure and political science and political intrigue and science fiction. I like Wing Commander. A lot of people didn't like it. I liked Wing Commander. I like Roger Corman films. Not that big a fan of the sci-fi asylum films because they really go too far. But I like any movie where the city gets stomped. You know? 10.5. I'll watch the first 10 minutes of that movie over and over and over again. I've seen Pitch Black probably 20 times in one weekend. Met Vin Diesel years and years ago. He was working on a film nearby, and I was working as a nutritional counselor, and got to go in and set everybody up with all the bodybuilders up with their protein and all their crap, and met him. He's a pretty cool guy. Very, very short. Most pro bodybuilders are very short. There's one guy who was Mr. Universe for like 20 years that I met repeatedly at the one shop I was working at, and he was like, to me, almost at my belly button height. I mean, he was half size, but the photos all made him look full size because they had special props and everything, because to get those big muscles, you've got to be short. Anyway, Vin Diesel was very soft-spoken, I'm not going to say he was shy, but introverted, very focused in on whatever was inside his head that day. But I met him. Movies that I don't like, that I hate. Walked out of Blazing Saddles. I was very young at the time, but I remember at the time, this is not for me. Paid for the ticket, walked out, went, can I get a refund? They said no. I went, oh, and they're like, this other movie's getting ready to start, and I went to the other movie. I don't even remember what the other movie was. I like horror, but I like 1970s to 1980s horror, and I am not a fan of a lot of the modern horror. Not on the gore. The gore, some of it gets to me. Having worked as a medic, having worked in hospitals, some of it does get to me because it's a little too realistic these days. That's not what gets me about it, though. What gets me, in the older movies, you always knew somebody would survive. So you had a character, and you tried to guess which character. Somebody would survive. Justice would prevail. Whatever. In a lot of the modern ones, it's not there. It's life sucks, and it sucks, and it really sucks, and wow, it sucks, and yeah, bye-bye. I don't like it. Deep Blue, was that what it was called? The shark movie with, I forget now. The super intelligent shark movie that came out with the parrot. Cuba Gooding, yeah, that's who it was. I loved that movie. That was hilarious. I was not expecting Samuel Jackson to die so quickly. I was not expecting some of the gore to happen, but it was a fun movie, and you knew somebody was going to survive. Years ago, we had a date night, hubby and I, and we went to go see a movie. And when we got to the theater, I think it was Saw. It was either Saw or Centipede, Human Centipede. and a couple of chick flicks, and a couple of gangbanger rap type movies, and Happy Feet. And we were gonna go see the horror movie. That was our original plan, and we were in line, and we started looking at everybody in line, and the crowd in line for the horror movie was just nobody we would spark a conversation with, not even at Crypticon. They were sociopathic little teenagers and sociopathic, I'm an antisocial asshole people, and people acting like they were trying to get into a porn rub movie. I mean, I'm standing by myself and I'm not making eye contact. This is my porn. And it was really, really creepy. And I looked around and I was like, do we fit in this crowd? And the husband looked around and there wasn't a single person with, say, a Doctor Who patch. There wasn't anybody in that crowd that wasn't going for a hit on violence. On I want to pretend I'm the bad guy. And I looked at the reader board and went down the rest of the movies and I was like, hey, there's a Penguin movie. And he was like, let's go see the Penguin movie. So we saw Happy Feet. And in this theater, on Friday night at 8:30 at night, there were 6 other people seeing Happy Feet. That's it. And halfway down and to the side was a man and his wife. And they were all couples, besides us. Okay, it was obvious people who realized there was nothing else to see. And, well, I guess I'll go see Happy Feet. I don't have the kids with me, but I'll go see Happy Feet. And this guy, halfway down, with his wife, the movie's been going for like 4 or 5 minutes. And all of a sudden you hear... And the wife, shh, okay. You can hear him over the movie. And it goes on, and it goes on. And we're like 20 minutes into the movie, and finally he has to say something. She shushed him like 3 times. Halfway, about 15, 20 minutes into the movie, and you hear, this is a horrible movie. And the wife, or girlfriend, would you shut up? And the husband and I are like, because about that time we were starting to think this was a really bad movie. I mean, it's cute, it's funny, it's got its moments, it's a horrible movie. It really is. It got better by the time it got to the end of the movie, you could see what they were trying to do, and it's a good movie. And I actually like Happy Feet. But in the theater, it's like, dude, that was 30 seconds of sighing, loudly projecting. And about the 50th time he did it, and she oofed him. I mean, whap, oof. And us and the 2 other couples are just like laughing at him, not the movie. And that was the entire experience. And we walk out, and we're walking through the lobby, past the popcorn. And my husband goes, oh, this is a horrible movie. And some guy in the crowd ahead of us goes, I wasn't that loud. And the wife says, I told you so. Never saw them. They were in the crowd. Anyway, I'm not a fan of most of the modern horror. I try every now and then, and something twisted in how it's done now. And I'd rather watch a Roger Corman film. I really would. I'd rather watch Sharktopus? Sharknado? Gargoyles was a fun Roger Corman film. Yeah. It's been 14 minutes. I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.